Building a house is complicated. With dozens of trades involved, owner variations, etc., etc., it is ripe for confusion and misinterpretation. When it comes to waterproofing particularly, there are many approaches. So on behalf of WA Project and Commercial Waterproofing, I am proud to present the definitive step-by-step guide of the benchmark waterproofing procedure for all double brick home construction.
Hi, I'm Fitzy, and together we're going on a journey of enlightenment to learn that when it comes to waterproofing, it's got to be my way or the highway.
Waterproofing is not a dark art. There are minimum standards to follow to ensure a professional outcome. So rather than just playing it by ear, we can use hard and fast rules that even I can follow. There's the Building Code of Australia and Australian Standards AS 3740 2010. This will give us a template that we can apply to every job we do in order to protect the integrity of the finished product and protect the homeowner.
So to start, every wet area will be a room with a number of walls and fittings that we think of as our canvas, upon which we'll create our very own impenetrable water barrier. Now bear with me a tick, I'm going to sprout some numbers. To do the job properly,
we have to comply with BCA standards which tell us how much waterproofing to apply. In the case of a shower cubicle, that is 200ml up the wall and 150ml out from each corner. However, in all our waterproofing projects, we insist on going over and above the required standard, and so we will cover the entire shower cubicle. In addition to that, we will cover all wall floor junctions to the bathrooms, 150ml over the vanities, bath riser, face and 200ml behind the bath, 150ml over the laundry bench, and the wall floor junctions to laundries and powder rooms.
So there's a fair bit to do. As with all important tasks in life, preparation is absolutely crucial to do an effective job. And the king of preparation is with me now. Ashley, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, Fitzy.
All right, preparation is important, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is, mate.
All right, well, you are the master, so if you don't mind, we'll follow you through the process and I'll just do the talking. I'm good at that bit.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so before we do anything, let's check our surfaces.
The substrate is usually not that smooth, and sometimes it can have a high sand content. There'll be dags present, lumps of render that haven't been smoothed out in the original screed, and lots of dust. All of these imperfections need to be removed. A handheld scraper will usually do the job, and we work on all surfaces, wall and floor. And sometimes, where appropriate, we can scrape back the white set too, to get a wider coverage and better adherence of the waterproofing membrane. Let's get all the excess dust away and then we can start the tape up. Ash measures the correct heights and widths for the membrane application and then applies masking tape to form the boundary to keep a neat, clean application area.
So far so good, Ash?
Yeah, it's a bit of tape, mate.
It certainly is.
Once we've masked up the space, we'll apply a bond breaker to all the internal corners. The bond breaker is a neutral cure silicone applied to all the joints where movement might occur so that the membrane is not bonded directly to the substrate at the movement joint. Any joint movement could result in tearing the waterproof membrane. The membrane literally moves across the bond breaker surface without ripping. It simply maximises the tolerance to the movement that the membrane can endure. The bond breaker will take a few minutes to set.
Critically, the next step is applying the high quality primer.
The primer enhances the adhesive bond strength of the membrane. It also reduces porosity and air entrapment in the substrate that can cause blistering of the membrane after it cures. It is applied to all areas to be waterproof. ensuring strong bonding of the membrane throughout.
The primer is fast drying, so after about 15 minutes or so, these bandages here are measured and cut in preparation to apply to the joints once the membrane is down.
Bandages add another layer of protection to the bond breaker and enable the membrane to move across the joint. The bandages are manufactured from non-woven, rot-proof polyester fabric.
That's the preparation phase completed. We are now ready for the main event. It's time to apply the waterproofing membrane.
The waterproofing product is an elastomeric 1-part polyurethane acrylic fibre reinforced flexible membrane impervious to liquid water. A mouthful, I know, but a professional waterproofer really doesn't want to get a mouthful of this, so there has to be adequate ventilation in the area for the fumes to vent. Ashley starts the first coat in the shower cubicle at a wall floor joint, using a firm roller to eliminate lumps in the membrane. Then he'll finish off with a brush before laying in a bandage. The thickness he applies is designated by the manufacturer Fosroc, the very best product on the market and the one we insist on. Once the wall floor joints are covered, he'll go to the walls, to a height of 1800mm. This exceeds the minimum height recommended by Australian standards from finished floor level. And again, a bandage will be laid in over the bond breaker and wall joint. Ashley's pro tip is to ensure the vertical bandages are placed in last, with a 15mm overlap so water can't seep in under the horizontals. Bandages are also placed around the tap, shower rose and bath spout as further precaution to prevent any seepage from knocks and perforation from the fittings when installed. The coating should be applied quickly to give the Fosroc membrane a completely contiguous coverage when dry. The coverage even extends down into the drain pipe flange. The first coat will take 2 to 4 hours to dry, depending on temperature and humidity on the day, so at this stage the masking tape can be removed. Once the required drying time has elapsed, a second, thicker coat of Fosroc is applied. As an extra precaution to minimise gaps and pinholing of the membrane, it is finished at 90 degrees to the first coat. And once finished, the smart tradies always remember to clean tools and equipment with warm water and detergent while the membrane is still wet.
So we're done. A fully waterproof wet area completed professionally to Australian specifications. Good job, Ash. I know it's not, but you made it almost look easy.
Yeah, I've been at it for a while now, Fitzy. It's all about the method you follow and not cutting corners. Yeah, I'm happy with the job.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Good job. However, we're not quite done yet.
Tomorrow, a QA inspector will arrive to inspect the work. This is an important safeguard in case the waterproofer has missed something. I know that will never happen with Ashley, but it's nice to have confirmation that it's all perfect. Once the inspection is passed, the meter box is stickered to greenlight the wet areas for tiling. Okay, you are now officially across the definitive and highest quality method to waterproof a domestic wet area. Thanks again for coming along on this journey with me. I'm Fitzy, and I'll see you around.